Happy Friday, everyone. What is going on? Excited to be back for another Friday live stream. Today, we're going to be talking about something very fun, which is advanced sponsorship negotiation tactics. And guess who we have? Guess who we have? You are not even going to believe it. You are going to drop some gem emojis in the chat. I can just feel it because guess who we've got? We've got the one and only D Brissett tuning in on the chat today. What's up, D?
Hey, Justin. Hello, everyone. Happy Friday.
So excited to have you here. And before we kick things off, I just need to make a very special announcement. You thought you would get away without me saying something about this, D, but D just hit 1 million views on YouTube, guys. But did that happen today, D? Was it today, yesterday?
Like 2 days ago, I think.
Oh my God. Hold on a second. I got the money. We got the money gun going on. Because D hit 1 million views on YouTube. Absolutely incredible. Please drop some like fire money sign chart graph emojis in the chat for D, because that's a huge accomplishment. D, tell us your secrets. How did you do it?
Thank you. I stayed consistent. I posted 2 videos a week, every single week, and I kept at it. And I found my people. They found me, and I just kept going for it. And one thing led to another. I was like maybe 200,000 views, maybe 6 months ago. And then I had a passion. I had a drive, and I just kept going. Never give up on yourself. Never.
So proud of you. So proud of you. I mean, it's one thing that I think is really, and we'll talk about this a little bit today. Actually, let's dive right into this. Let's just go for it, because I really want to talk about this piece, because, one of the things, so before I start, I just wanted to mention real quickly that for those of you tuning in right now, Brand Deal Wizard enrollment is open right now. Cohort number 7 is launching on Tuesday of next week. We're going to be talking about it a little bit later in the stream. So if you are got a bail early on the live stream, I just wanted to mention that because if you want to enroll, I would definitely recommend checking that out. Just branddealwizard.com. A lot of what we're going to talk about today is relevant to that. And so the first thing I wanted to mention here related to your amazing success story and growth in viewership, D, is just audience growth in general. Because I hear, one of the things on the topic of sponsorships that I hear from a lot of creators is just, I am just focused on growing my audience right now, because I think I'm just too small to work with brands. Like, why would a brand want to work with me? I'm looking at all my peers around here. They've got so many followers, subscribers, larger platforms, etc. What are your thoughts on when is the right time to work with brands?
It's a good time to work with brands if you're already creating amazing content and you're a great storyteller. So that could mean you have 50 followers. It can mean you have 100. It can mean you have 100,000. The numbers don't necessarily determine if you're qualified to work with a brand. The value that you can bring to the table and the type of content you can deliver is the real definition of the real answer or your way into working with brands. It's definitely not number size.
Yeah,
it's a conception for sure, and it's something that I feel creators who are emerging creators worry about. But I'm here to tell you, take it from me. I have 6,000 followers and 1 million views on YouTube. I make thousands of dollars working with brands. The numbers don't mean that much for you not to just push yourself and reach for those goals, right? Because they're totally doable.
100%. And one of the things that I think a lot of creators miss when they are starting out is how important it is to curate your own brand identity as a creator from the get-go, right? And because we talked about this a little bit in the past, but how many creators do you know are just absolutely obsessed with going viral on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or something like that, and they're chasing the trends? Perhaps they may be making videos that aren't super wholesome, right? They have a lot of profanity in them, or they're just a little questionable. And we talked about this a lot, which is that brands are potentially landing on your profile and seeing those questionable content that you're creating and just deciding to pass immediately. They would have otherwise reached out to you about a partnership, and then they see that content and they're just like, you know what? I don't know if this person is a good in alignment with our mission and values for our brand. This stuff happens. I'm not making this up. I'm not trying to be a fear monger. Like, I'm telling you, because I ran an agency, I know lots of people in this industry. There's a lot of vetting that goes on before brands ever or agencies ever reach out to you, to ensure that, because look at it from the agency's perspective, right? Let's say that they put a recommendation in front of their client, who is the brand, and says, hey, we think this creator looks good and would be a good fit for this campaign. And then the brand goes and clicks on their profile, and you've got like some crazy risque thumbnail on YouTube. I just got arrested, and you're like on the hood of a cop car or something. Like, I've seen these crazy videos, right? And then the client emails the agency back like, what gives? Like, clearly you didn't check. So they've got egg on their face. They look dumb, right? And so that's the last thing. So they are going to exercise extreme caution. Now, I am not saying, right, D, I'm not saying don't be creative. I'm not saying, don't have a voice or a unique, view or personality. But what I am saying is that you have to think about this stuff and put yourself in the shoes of the brand, the ultimate brands that you do want to work with. Yes, no, agree, disagree?
100%,
You want to fight me?
100%. I think also you have to not just look at what the brand is looking at, but what are you looking for when you're searching for inspiration, right? Are you looking for someone who's posting content that's confusing for you to figure out, like, what's their thing? Are you looking at people or other creators who are posting content and you're like, wow, they have such a clear vision, like, all of this just makes sense. I just want to land on this page and like stay here, no matter the platform, if it's your website, if it's your podcast, if it's, Instagram, TikTok, these goals of going viral are all amazing, but you still have to have your best foot forward each time they land on your page, because at all times it's going to be your first impression, and you want to make sure it's always a good one, because you're representing your brand and your business, and that's your job to protect. It's your job to make sure that the vision is clear. Like, if brands continuously ask you, or maybe you think they're asking, like, why would I work with this creator? Create a reason why they should work for you or work with you, right? Like, stop allowing these things to continue and actually find solutions for them and figure it out. That way, if this was a problem for you before, like, oh, I fixed that link. That was a dead link on my profile page. Like, now they're not going to think like, oh my gosh, like, this person doesn't know what they're doing. It's like, oh, this could be a potential problem. Let me just fix it. Why not? Like, there's only good that can come from making these changes, nothing bad. So just do it.
Yeah. Love it. Just do it, right? Steal that slogan from Nike at the end there. And it's true, 100% true. Real quickly, wanted to shout out some folks in the chat. Carolyn Lopez, what is going on? Carolyn says, congratulations, D. We've got Paul Jameson, what is going on? We got some money bags. Way to go, D. Aaron's House of Legos, dollar, fire. We got Cal, we got KMH family. Ashley, what's going on? And Leadership with Mike. What's going on, Mike? Good to have you here. So, D, let's shift gears for a second here. And I want to talk about, one of the most frequently asked questions I think we get across all of the social platforms, our email lists, all this stuff, is breaking down the different types of sponsorships. Because I think it's hard to, when you're starting out as a creator, it's, it feels like they're all kind of similar. It's like, okay, well, if a brand gives me something of value, whether it's a free product or they are compensating me or whatever it is, it all just feels kind of the same. I'm just working with brands, right? But within the realm of partnerships, there's a lot of different types of ways in which you could work with brands, as you just mentioned, right? So why don't you kick it off? Tell us a little bit about your perspective on gifted partnerships and, this whole idea of like, how do you convert a gifted partnership to a paid partnership, and how to articulate your value?
Yeah, well, first of all, gifted partnerships are great if you expect to magically pay for things. That's awesome. If you're not magically paying for things, it's not going to work for you, because brands have budgets to gift you things. Do you have a budget for giving up your time to do work for free? Like, these are the mindset shifts that I feel every creator should just consider every time a gifted opportunity comes in. They have a budget for these gifted items. You don't have a budget for the time you're giving up to try these items, and in return, you're also not making any payment on it. So gifted is great If you want just no money, you don't want to be paid for your creativity and your work. However, if a brand approaches you and says like this is gifted, or sometimes they'll say like they don't have a budget for, this campaign and they can only offer the free product. Sure, if you want to accept the free product, that's on you. However, I suggest you let them know that you are going to offer a payment plan because you understand that their budget might be tight. So instead of lowering your rate or saying, okay, I'll accept your $50 curtain for free, like, sure, I always wanted nice curtains to look at. As you're sitting down and looking at your curtains, wouldn't it be also nice to look at your curtains and know, like, dang, those $50 curtains just landed me like $2,000 because I know exactly what to say and I converted that gifted opportunity into nice curtains and a paycheck at the end of the day. And so you have to figure out all these things. And we actually have a new program that we're running. It's an evergreen program. It's called Gifted to Create. It's a self-paced course. You can take it on your own. Literally, you can go through the whole thing in like an hour and a half if you wanted to. But we have strategies and methods and what to say, real life examples of gifted opportunities and exactly how you can convert those into ones that are going to pay you. The main difference really in all of it is knowing what to say and understanding what's gifted and what's not. Because PR mail is not a gifted campaign. But if you're sending PR mail and saying, oh, by the way, can you post 3 posts? Also, make sure to use these hashtags in there. And on top of it, share it to your other 2 social medias as well. And then submit it to us for us to review it before you do all of that. Like this is not gifted. And you have to be able to understand that. But you can totally understand that in our course that we're offering right now. Gifted to Paid. It's amazing. You guys should totally check it out. It's super, super valuable.
Dang, do you work for Creator Wizard or something? Because that was a really good sales pitch. If not, I should hire you.
I know the founder. I've met him before. He's this guy that is super obsessed with sponsorship strategies, and he gets so excited about it that I took the course. And now I get excited about it. Like it's this guy on the internet. Look him up, Justin Moore. You'll find all about him there.
Y'all, so real quickly, we need to interrupt this this live stream for a special announcement. Literally just got another enrollment for Brand Deal Wizard just now, and I want to give a quick shout out. Why don't we do this? This is fun because there is something really cool about this guest or about this student who just joined. I'm going to share my screen right now, okay? I want to give a quick shout out to Scott Sanchez. Scott Sanchez just joined Brand Deal Wizard, and you want to know what's super interesting about this is that Scott is the chief marketing officer of a brand, y'all. Okay, he's the chief marketing officer of Harness.io, and he sent me a message, a DM a few days ago, asking whether I thought he's very passionate about building really great relationships with creators because they do a lot of these types of partnerships in their business, and he really wants to understand how to work with creators better. And so these are the types of high quality people that you can expect to be in the community for Brand Deal Wizard. It's not just creators. There's talent managers. There is people who are running operations for other creators. There's people from brands, right? And I just think it's such a beautiful community that we're building around sponsorship strategy and how we can all work together to make these awesome campaigns. One of the things, so again, Scott, so stoked to have you in here. Really, really excited about that. And the one thing that I think is very important to bring up is that, like, I think we talked about this a lot before, which is that a lot of creators feel as though this dance, these partnerships that you do with brands, it's a fight. It's like a fight to the death. It's like I got to get every single dollar off the table when I work with these brands, or I need to it's this. There's a lot of animosity in this relationship, which I have literally done hundreds and hundreds of sponsorships over the years, and I have not found that to be the case. Like, working with brands has been amazing. It's been lucrative. It's been fun, right? And so I'm just excited. Dee and I are so excited to be building this community where everyone inside this feels the same. This is not something that you need to like put on your armor of inauthenticity and just go to battle, right? It's not like that. And so there is a different way. And so if that resonates with you, definitely check out branddealwizard.com. Enrollment ends on October 16th. We are capping enrollment at 50. this time. And so, yeah, big shout out to Scott. Isn't that cool, D? I mean, I was stoked to see that.
Amazing. Scott must be watching the live stream.
Yeah, I know, right? And Ashley Aaron said, the payment plan is always such a great option. Brands want to pay you, and the payment plan allows that. Thank you, Ashley. Ashley, again, is another alumni. So good to see you. The growth that you've experienced as well, Ashley, has just been outstanding. So man, it brings a tear to my eye to see like all these opportunities, all of my alumni are going and doing all these amazing things. And I just like, Ashley, I'm going to give you a quick little shout out here. Ashley went through the program, and now she has a job working, negotiating sponsorships for another creator. How cool is that? I just think that's amazing. So good. Like, you never know like where these skills that you are learning are going to take you, right? So I don't know. Good job, Ashley. I'm really proud of you.
Congratulations, Ashley. We're so proud of you. And also for everyone who's listening and maybe they're still on the fence if Brando Wizard is the right course for them, I need to let you know that when you take Brando Wizard, you're not just taking a regular course. You're literally taking the course that is likely going to just completely change your life. When I say change your life, it means you're going to understand things on levels that are super high level that you can apply to your business, your job that you have currently. You can apply it to pretty much anything, and you can take it so far because knowledge is power, and having access to this knowledge and being able to access it again in the future with the replays and getting connected to the community, the networking opportunities that you get throughout this course is absolutely amazing. The group of people that you're connected with and the opportunities that are presented to you because of these people is absolutely amazing. I had the community. I love the community. I also host the office hour sessions in the course, and I'm going to be your biggest hype woman. You know, if there is something that you're doubting, you're not going to leave a room doubting it after speaking with me. And what I also love is that the community just supports each other and hypes each other up. We have people from previous cohorts who still stay connected with each other. And also Ashley in the chat, I have a group that I connect with Ashley, and I still talk to Ashley. We were in a cohort many cohorts ago, and the community aspect never dies down, ever. And there's so many connections ready for you to be made, and the information is endless. Every time we make updates, who gets access to that? You do. And the course continues to get better every single time. Every single time.
100% agree. I mean, it's the community element, especially being able to like listen to issues that your peers are having or negotiations they're going through, and just even the support aspect. I think that is something that I did not anticipate when I first started the program, is like how much the psychological mindset elements can prevent us oftentimes as creators from accomplishing our goals. And so just being able to be surrounded by people and just feel like, you know what, I'm not alone. Like actually other people feel this way too. So yeah, just totally agree, D. Real quickly, wanted to give a shout out to my dad. What's up, Dad, in the chat? My dad, Davey, right there is in the chat. What's up? Good to see you. We got Nicolette. First time here. Hello, everyone. Great to see you, Nicolette. And great to see you. So, D, let's shift gears a second here. So we talked about gifted strategies. Walk us through your thoughts on affiliate relationships, right? Is there an advantage to doing, let's say, hybrid schemes where you get a little bit of money up front and then you get some commission on the back end? Or are you only an advocate for, flat fee compensation? What's your thoughts on that?
I actually have mixed feelings about affiliates because I've been a part of some affiliate programs in the past, and it was fun while I wanted to just do some creative things and just get connected with a different group of people that I might not necessarily have connections with previously. But what I found from affiliate deals is that they're low-key sponsorships, but affiliates. And I didn't like that. So if I'm going to do any sort of affiliate promotion or affiliate deal, it literally has to be with a product that I know I personally use and love, and also something that I know is going to be very valuable for my audience. If there's no value for my audience, it's literally a waste of time for me to be an affiliate, because who am I sharing this awesome product with? Absolutely no one that it resonates with, right? Like if everyone I know is in a curly hair group and I'm selling like creams for reducing baldness, right? Like I don't think that they're going to be interested in that. That's probably not going to go over well. However, if it's something like a moisturizing shampoo or like a really good conditioner, yeah, that makes sense because I am helping my audience get value, but it's only a small portion of the big piece of the pie, and you're limiting yourself by only relying on that one. So I actually believe in diversifying your income, which means having pieces of different things put together, but never fully committing to just affiliates because that's unpredictable. At any point in time, someone might not be interested in the products that you're promoting. And then what? What will you do? Well, how will you pay your bills? How will you do anything that you need to do if there's no income coming in? So I'm a big fan of just diversifying it. It's okay to do affiliates, but you have to really pay attention to what you're being asked to do, what you're signing up to do, and if the percentage makes sense for you. Like if you're selling 100,000 products for a brand or helping them get their name out there for in front of 100,000 people and you're getting $10 at the end of the month, you might want to reassess that and see if that makes sense for you because
Yeah.
it probably won't, but you have to be able to understand, is this serving you? It might serve you for the moment, but it's not going to be something that you can have like sustainable for a long time.
You know, I have two thoughts on that. The first is that I think that the onus is on you as a creator to assess the particular category of product where you're entertaining this compensation scheme. Because let's say that you have a YouTube channel, okay, and you may not get a ton of traffic in the first 30 days, but you have really good long tail SEO search performance for your particular niche, right? Maybe you're talking about something very specific. And so, you know, when you talk about particular topics, right? Maybe you, over the course of a year, you get 100,000 views or 200,000 views on a lot of these high value topics. And so, yeah, maybe you don't agree to affiliate schemes on the majority of your paid partnerships, but maybe there's categories where that makes sense, where it actually makes more sense to negotiate a purely higher commission, no upfront pay, if the brand is like willing to give you 50% split or 30%, 40% split, where you know you can reliably do the math and say, you know what, over the lifespan of me having this affiliate link in the description box, I'm going to make more money than just this $1,000 flat payment than this brand is offering me. And so I think to Dee's point about diversification, you have to think critically about this stuff. You have to look at all the different, ways in which you're influential across all your platforms, your podcast, your newsletter, your, social media pages, all this, right? And understand how your audience and your community is interacting with your content, right? Because they interact in different ways across different platforms, right? So maybe on TikTok or maybe on Instagram or whatever, yeah, people are not, there's not a lot of people who are going to like go to your bio and like, oh, let me click on that link or whatever, right? Whereas on your Instagram stories or in your show notes in your podcast or whatever, your newsletter, right? People are clicking those links a lot more regularly. So like, yeah, maybe having some sort of affiliate commission or hybrid compensation scheme makes more sense in certain content media. And so again, and let's actually shift gears and talk about this diversification topic because, on the topic of sponsorships, a lot of people ask like, okay, well, yeah, sponsorships are nice, but like, can't really rely on them. They're nice when you can get them, but it's hard to say, right? And what I love talking about with respect to diversification and sponsorships is that the easiest way to turn down a bad sponsorship is to be diversified, is to have a lot of other, ways in which you're making income as a creator, merchandise, maybe it's coaching courses, maybe it's, other types of direct patronage from your audience, Patreon, this type of thing. Because then if a brand comes to you and does not have a good deal, you're going to be like, no, thanks. Right. I'm good. I'm gonna walk. Right. And so I do think like sponsorships can be an extremely lucrative way to make money. But what I am not saying, it's very important you hear me. What I'm not saying is that you should not diversify. But to your point, Dee, you just told me you have 6,000 subscribers on YouTube. You just hit 1 million views and you are making thousands of dollars on sponsorship. So talk about that real quickly about why is there this disconnect? So many YouTubers think like, oh, I'm just going to get monetized. That's my goal for the next 4 years or whatever, right? But you are sitting with thousands of dollars in your hand. And so walk me through your thought process on that.
Yeah, well, First of all, it all started with Brand Deal Wizard. Literally, that's the course I took that helped me to figure out like how to price myself, or just how to understand the scope of work that I'm signing up to do and how to price to that accordingly. I used to actually get a lot of emails back from brands saying that, oh, I don't have 2,000 subscribers, so unfortunately, I don't qualify to work with them, or oh, my following is low, so I should, respond back to them once I have some growth. Or they'll even flat out just say really harsh things like, we only work with influencers who have 500,000 followers. And it's like, where am I supposed to find these 500,000 people from? Like, you can't just go to the store and pick them up, right? So it was frustrating. It was super frustrating. And I quit a lot of times. I quit a lot of times. I walked away from being a creator more than 3 times because I just felt like this is mission impossible. How am I going to actually convince these brands to want to work with me? I get to the number of you that they're saying, but then there's something else, right? And then I get to that next level, and then there's something else. What I found out throughout all of that is that it was never the numbers. The numbers was just a part of the process. It's literally just something that brands and creators will even say, like, I have 6,000 subscribers, but I don't walk around announcing, oh, I have 6,000 subscribers. Same thing with, brands. Like, they'll look at my, subscribers, and yes, it's 6,000. However, I actually have over 50,000 returning viewers that come back to my channel every single month. So 6,000 of those people actually subscribed, but over 50,000 are coming back every single week because they're returning viewers. It's up to you to understand what your analytics mean and to fully understand how much value that is. Because when I hop on a call with a brand, which I'm always happy to do, I do not play. I'm like, yes, we can definitely hop on a call. When I hop on those calls, if that ever comes up, my numbers, I have so much facts and values and screenshots and all the things ready to show and prove the value that yes, I do have 6,000 subscribers, and I also have a very specific audience in this very specific niche that I worked really hard to build a trustworthy relationship with. And I also know that even though I only have 6,000 subscribers, I actually have over 50,000 returning viewers every single month or whatever the case is. And this is the actual reach that you'll have. This is the standing number that's sort of like the face covering on the packaging. But once you unbox this, you're going to realize that there's so much more value than just the number. And if you're successful at showing what your value is to brands, there is no reason they're going to tell you no. No reason. And it's up to you to figure out what that value proposition is that you have and figure out a way to word that to a brand and present it to a brand to, yes, then be in a position like me where I do have 6,000 subscribers. And yes, I make thousands of dollars on brand deals because I know my value. I know what I'm worth. And I also know all the bits and pieces, not just, oh, this brand is going to make me take a picture of their product, right? It's beyond that. Like, it's being a creator has evolved to this greater thing that's beyond just snapping a picture and saying that you like a product. It's literally understanding how can you help people. If you can figure out how you're going to help people, it's going to be hard for you to figure out how to make these thousands of dollars. So you gotta figure out a way to get that to work together so all the stars can align for you. But you're going to be the one stopping you from doing that because no one else can do that for you. No one else can do that for you.
Mic drop moment. And you know what? It's this thing we talk about a lot, which is that you're not just a creator, you are a consultant, right? And you have to enjoy that process, right? If you're someone who is just like, oh, just pay me. Like, I don't really how much you can pay me. What's your budget? Like, I don't really care what the outcome is of this campaign. If that is your mindset, you are going to be forever just like banished to the kingdom of onesie twosie brand deals. You're always going to be doing those, 100, 200, 500. There's nothing wrong with those deals. It pays bills. Like there's, I get it. It's okay. But if you truly are trying to understand how to get out of that, right, and go to the 5,000, 10,000, 4 or 5, 5-figure even brand deals, you have to have this mindset where you actually do care and are invested in the outcome of the partnership for for the brand partner, right? And I think that that's a missing element from a lot of creators' sponsorship strategies, right? And I real quickly wanted to acknowledge we got Cal Barton in the chat. Cal just joined Brand Deal Wizard as well. He was one of the early people who got in on the wait list and got a chance to catch up with Cal on one of the Zoom Q&A calls this week. So that was great. Good to see you, Cal. And I want to just call out two amazing comments. One from Ashley. I was able to quit my job of 17 years and I'm now making life-changing money. All from the life-changing money. Ashley is not a plant here. She all from all the incredible information I learned from Justin's course. I am negotiating 6-figure brand deals, and it is incredible. Ashley, wow. Ashley, I'm taking a screenshot of this. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hold on. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Money gun. There we go. I think I took a screenshot of that while I was shooting the money gun, so I hope I got it. I don't know if I did. Let me see if I got it. Oh no, I didn't get the money. It's okay. But and the other real quick comment that I wanted to highlight was from the KMH family. The course is amazing. One of the best courses I have been in, hands down. I met Justin a few years ago. He's been such an amazing brand coach. Thank you. An inspiration and a friend. Course is everything. Thank you so much. Can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Yeah, Ashley said it's all true. I promise. All right, Dee, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I think at least. Which is, okay, you're talking about like, making, going from 500 to 5,000, but is that really real? Like, is that something you can actually do when it comes to like negotiating more for each sponsorship? I think that a lot of creators think that the only way in which you can start making some of those amounts is just, the only way to make 2 or 3 times the amount is to do 2 or 3 times the amount of work. Right? There's no, how where does that even come from? So how does this work, Dee? How do you go down this road of understanding some of these advanced negotiation principles?
Yeah, so oftentimes when I go into negotiations, I go in understanding that we're going to have to talk about some things, first of all. And then knowing that we're going to have to talk about a few things, you understand that at this point, everything is negotiable. It can be the amount of posts that you're agreeing to make. It could be the exclusivity of the term, like the exclusivity terms, like how long you are exclusive to this one brand. It could be if they want to put ads behind your post and post it on their platforms. I know a lot of creators are UGC creators, and that's totally cool as well. There's so many different ways that you can kind of finesse the system where you're creating content for yourself, you're creating content for brands, you're creating content for your audience. It's only possible to go from negotiating $500 to $5,000 with work behind it. Okay, so if you're taking 2 months to negotiate with a brand to pay you more money, but in those 2 months you didn't put out any content, do you think that brand is really going to pay you $5,000 at the end of the conversation? I really don't think so, because you haven't shown them that you were consistent or reliable in those 2 months since you quit posting just so you can talk to this brand for 2 months, right? Because I think, Justin, one of the biggest misconceptions that creators have is that when they get a brand deal, they're going to get paid right away. And that is not always the case.
No, it is not.
You really need to have your content pipeline flowing. So these sponsorships have a place to be. If you don't have a place for this content to live, and if you don't have consistent content, if you don't know what your views are going to be like when you put out that sponsored video, you're doing it all wrong. So you have to understand that there are so many things that you have to keep the gears rolling on in order to be in a position to confidently walk into a meeting or an email and say, I know that you offered 500,000. However, I'm prepared to do 1, 2, 3 things, and it's actually going to look a little bit more like this. Do you have room in your budget for that, right? Like, these are the type of conversations that you have to have, but you have to have the work behind it all. Like, being able to walk the walk is one thing, being able to talk the talk is other thing, but being able to actually deliver, that's what gets you paid. Can you deliver? How reliable are you? What do you know that they don't know that you can help them know? Like, there's so many levels to this. It gets super deep, but whenever you're negotiating with a brand or in any situation in life, just know that you have to understand what would success look like for them. you have to know that answer so you can negotiate. Because if you're negotiating your own argument and they're not included, you just shot yourself in the foot and there you go. Like you have no opportunity to ask for more money and you don't want to put yourself in a situation like that. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
big fan of having confidence in yourself. And once you start having that confidence in yourself, it becomes so easy to negotiate like with brands on an advanced level. You know, there have been times I've gone into negotiations with brands and it started off at like, for example, $1,000. They didn't have the budget for it. That's totally fine. We had another conversation going, and budget just magically shows up, you guys. I swear, brands, they have their money guns too because they just find the money once the value is there. And these things are possible. But again, you really need to understand how brand deals work, how sponsorships work, and what you have control of throughout the whole process because it's not a one-step process and it's definitely not a one and done thank you and that's it. I'm in it for the long term gain. You know, I really want to build sustainable income so I don't have to work with brands that I just don't support or like.
Yeah.
That doesn't fulfill me, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I would hope that other creators are fortunate enough to be in those situations too, where they can do those things. But it all starts with the self confidence, believing in what you're doing, having a plan, and making
Mm.
sure that you get to check off your goals in the process of, going through this plan. And bringing brands along to through the process should be a humbling experience for you. You
Mm.
should feel like, wow, I can't believe I got to work with, for example, Starbucks, right? And it's just like, I remember as a kid growing up thinking, I love Starbucks. And now here I am working with Starbucks. These are the negotiations that you want to go into and feel super proud of when the end result shows that you are going to get paid for your work.
Yeah.
And all these things are totally possible. And brands love creators. They really, really do. And your audience, when they love you, when they're ride or die, they are just so excited for all the amazing things that you're doing. And then they end up start liking the brands that you like because it's like, oh my gosh, Starbucks is supporting D. I like Starbucks a little bit more now. Let me just go over there real quick, right? Like these are real life things that happen through being able to, on the back end, do the deep negotiating and like fully understanding what the goals are, what your goals are, and seeing if that aligns.
Right.
Because if your goals and the brand's goal don't align, it's probably not a good use of your time.
Yeah, I mean, I want to like bring up a concrete example of this whole idea of understanding how things are working on the other side of the table from brands. So we literally just got done with a partnership. This is a real thing that just happened in the last like couple days or like couple weeks. This is a very large company. Okay, very very large media company essentially. Just got done with the partnership, and now we are bogged down in the vendor approval process. So they have this very archaic methodology by which, we got to fill out paperwork and like there's a separate department that gets us approved in the system. All of this has to happen before we can submit our invoice. So meanwhile, the clock is ticking here and their net terms is something crazy, net 60, net 75, something crazy like that, right? But it's a lot of money, okay? And so, we're like, fine, like that's fine. We're willing to wait. And the reason that we're able to wait is because we're not reliant on this one deal. Right. And so one of the most important mindset shifts to have around working with brands is that if you are ever in a situation where you were relying on one specific deal, like that is a problem. That's one of the primary sticking points that we address in Brand Deal Wizard is that you need to be in a situation where you have multiple conversations happening with brands and companies at all of the different phases of the sponsorship wheel, which is the framework that we teach. And so you never wonder when or where your next deal is going to come from. You've always know, okay, you have that certainty to look out several months down the line and be like, okay, I know that money, as long as I do my part, that money is going to hit my bank account in 100 days or whatever it's going to be, right? And so case in point, this is how confident I am in the strategies that we employ is that they have now come back to us for another deal, an even more lucrative one, within 10 days after the other one closing. And we signed it up, even though we have not been paid yet, even though we have not submitted our invoice yet. We have the confidence in their organization that we're eventually going to get paid. It'll all get sorted out. But a lot of creators will get in the shoes and they'll be like, no, like I'm not doing this until you pay me my first thing. Like I don't, kind of thing. No, I swear, like a lot of creators are like that. They're like, I'm not going to do this. Like, how do I know you're going to pay me? Right. And so you have to get to a point in your career as a creator to have the confidence to know that like it's all going to be okay. You're going to sort it out. but the biggest and most important thing is you either are diversified enough so that you're not dependent on this money right here, right now, and you understand that you're going to get paid eventually. You're not going to have to take this brand to court. In the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of deals that my wife and I have done, and through the agency over many years, we have only been 100% stiffed for payment once, and the brand went bankrupt. That's what happened. The agency went bankrupt. So by the way, I have a whole video on my YouTube channel about that if you want to go watch it. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that because I think people need to hear that. Paul Jameson, Friday Night DoorDash Fund. Paul, thanks for the life-changing content. Very thankful. Paul, thank you so much. D, I think I maybe need to split this super chat with you. I don't know, because you're a guest on the live stream. Paul, I appreciate it so much every time. Y'all, Paul is like literally my best friend at this point. I have a weekly coaching call basically with Paul, a one-on-one call almost every week with him. And he is just absolutely killing it. If you don't know the Green Industry podcast, go check out Paul. And Paul literally has referred me to like 8 of his friends. I've done one-on-one coaching calls with multiple of his friends now. So it's like he is the nexus of connection in that niche. So appreciate you as always, Paul. Real quickly, I gotta give this shout out. I mean, this is amazing. KMH family, beautiful D. Amazing queen, a genuine soul, heart of gold, true inspiration. I am grateful to have her as my YouTube sis, best friend, meeting her in the community. Much love, D. Wow.
Thank you, Hannity.
Look at that. Look at that.
My feels today. Thank you.
Look at the holiday. You like my mug? I stole April's mug. Do you see this? Gangsta rapper. This is a holiday mug. It's getting close to the holidays. Anyways, okay. I did want to get to one other thing though, because I want to pull back up Ashley's comment real quickly. Okay. Because this is just like incredible. Okay. Because I know that this is the goal for so many people. I want to quit my 9-to-5 job. I want to be a creator. I see a path forward for that, but it's like I'm not yet at the place where I can make that happen. I wish we could maybe, Ashley, we're gonna have to have you come back on for a live stream at one point to kind of talk through your story, because I think that's very inspirational. I mean, man, job of 17 years is incredible. So Dee, walk me through your thought process on quitting your 9-to-5 job. What does it actually take? What preparations do you need to make to be able to, quit your job, do this content creation thing full time, and not have the anxiety every month, how am I going to pay my bills?
Yeah, if you're planning to quit your full-time job, you shouldn't do it with $200 brand deals coming in, because that's not going to end up paying your bills. You really need to make sure that you have a secure income that you know is coming in. So whether that's a few, 6-month partnerships locked in for the year, or maybe the value of those partnerships is greater than the value of your annual income of what, wherever you were working before. These are all things to take into take advantage of, and just make sure that you are aware of it. So there's so many levels to this. I guess I'll start with this one level, which is to just understand, how much do you really want to make? Because in this line of work, you are in control of how much you're going to make. You could make $50,000 by the end of the year. You can make $150,000 in 1 month. You can make $500,000 in 1 year, or millions, like Mr. Beast and all the big YouTubers who are really just out there, working hard and collecting from all their hard work. It's totally something we all aspire to do. And B, how are you going to get there? You have to have this plan. Okay. You have to have a plan, and then you have to have mini plans along the way. That way there's this master plan. I'll take you on a personal journey. A year ago, my only goal was to just make it to 1,000 subscribers. I wasn't really there yet. It was super hard. I was struggling to get monetized on YouTube because their partnership program kept changing, and it just didn't work in my favor. A year ago, I was struggling to get to 1,000 subscribers. That was my goal. Once I got to 1,000 subscribers, it was, now I got to get to 400 hours of watch time. That was a mission. That wasn't a goal. That was a mission. I eventually got there. And then eventually my goal was, wow, I kind of want to make it to 5,000 subscribers. And then that just magically happened. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. Well, then my next goal is going to be, I want to get to 100,000 views. And then that happened. Right. And now the next goal was 1 million views. And here we are today with 1 million views. All of these things are a part of the plan all of these things were mini goals, big goals, goals that help feed my confidence. Because if I wasn't winning in this process, I'd probably quit again, because that's what I did. This is a proven thing that I've done before. If I put in the work and I didn't have any wins to show for it, I walked away because I felt like I'm not getting anywhere. And a lot of creators feel that way, especially when it comes to sponsorships. It's like I keep asking them to pay me and they keep saying they don't have a budget, but like they make millions. So how are they not finding this budget? It was never just the budget. It was, again, you just didn't have the ability to show the value that you can offer for this brand. So if you really want to quit your 9-to-5 job, you need to know a lot about a lot. I say this a lot in the course. You need to know a lot about a lot. You really do learn a lot in Brand Deal Wizard, and it really does help you to understand how you can actually take this course and then quit your full-time job and make a full-time living being a part-time or full-time creator. Myself, I'm a big advocate in diversifying your income as a creator. I do a lot of things. I'm the community and programs manager here at Creator Wizard. I work with the guy who's obsessed about sponsorship strategies, and I'm obsessed with sponsorship strategies too. And I also work with brands, right? I help spread their message to my audience, and I get to work with only the brands that I love and support. How amazing is that? Like, I wake up some days and I'm just like, you never once had to work with someone you didn't even know who they were or what their thing was. Like, you legit, you knew about all these brands, and like you spent your money supporting them, and now your $10-$20 is paying you $20,000. Like, there's a big difference. All these images, yes, there's other people's faces in these images, but it could be your face. It could be your name. It doesn't have to be someone else's story. It could be your story. A couple months ago, we were celebrating a friend's 1 million views on YouTube. I never once in that celebration thought, like, when will, I do this? Here I am. Like, these things truly happen with hard work, dedication, knowledge, and you knowing that you have to actually get up, you have to take these actions and put in the work. The $20,000 sponsorships don't get handed to you. You have to work really hard to get those. However, when you get them, it's going to feel so much better because you put in that work. You prove your worth. If this brand is not questioning, are you good enough? They already know. They are so confident that they went to their team and told them, this is the creator we need for this campaign. And they all signed off on it. And they were like, yeah, we want Justin. Okay. Like, yes, we want D. This is definitely it. And when you do get that payday, net 30, next 16, net whatever, even if you just ask for half the money up front and they're like, yes, we're buying whatever you're selling, this is all possible for you. And the only one stopping you from having these possibilities is literally you. So if you want to be these emerging and aspiring creators that you look up to, we're so willing to help each other. It's such an amazing community to be a part of. Why not help yourself first? Help yourself, invest in the knowledge, make sure you have all the tools you need. I learned more in 1 month than I did in 4 years. And I'm like still mind blown. In our private community, actually, we were celebrating our wins every Friday. And I just posted an actual screenshot of my analytics in the lifetime of YouTube history. There was just a straight flat line and then mountains, straight mountains. And that's when my vision became clear and I had a mission and a purpose. That could be you no matter where you are. And, the funny thing is, there are some creators who have a bigger following than me, a much bigger following than me. And they're making a fraction of what I make on sponsorships. And it's not because they don't know their audience or they don't know how to make amazing content. They just don't know how to advocate for themselves in an advanced conversation about partnerships. You can learn all of that in this course, and it can take you so many places. You don't have to be the creator with 500,000 followers and you're making $1,500 a month on sponsorships. Like, that is not okay. You should be in a much better place than that. You deserve to be in a much better place.
Oh my God. I am so glad you brought this up.
Earn more.
I can't tell you how many creators I have in my DMs, in our emails, who are saying the exact thing you just said. I have thousands, hundreds of thousands of followers, and I'm making almost nothing, right? This is especially true on TikTok and other of some of these newer platforms. It's just like these platforms, like, You are a commodity, honestly, to most of these platforms. They do not, they're going to spit you up and chew you out. That's just the reality of how this works, right? Their business model is built on advertising. And so the more watch time, the more people, more sessions, people consuming content. Yes, I know a lot of them are trying to introduce, creator advocacy programs and mental health stuff and all this stuff, but it's like, it is your job. You have to look out for yourself. Working with brands and partnerships is the vast, vast, vast majority of most creators' incomes. If you look at almost any study across, all the different platforms, it's anywhere from 60 to 70% is the largest bucket of income for creators is sponsorships. And so, like, in my mind, like, this is one of the primary areas you should be investing in your education, in your knowledge. If you could 2, 3, 4, 5x your income working with sponsors, that could have a meaningful impact on not only your life, but your business, help you make more compelling art, be more creative. Money is the great enabler, right? And I think that, that's just like a really, really important thing to keep in mind. The other thing I wanted to mention just about kind of quitting your job is that, when I was, when April quit a few years before me. And we still kind of had the one income, the medical insurance and all that stuff, which was like, for a lot of people, that's like a big deal, right? It's like the benefits, right? But we were at a point in our life we were at a point in our life where we were not prepared to just like survive on ramen, right? Because I think that's a lot of like, people who like want to be a full-time creator. Like, I think a lot of people think of it as like, oh, it's like like it's almost like startups, like, oh, it's the thing for 20 somethings. And like, they don't have any, obligations or partners or mortgages or kids or whatever. Like, let's just go do this startup and stay up 23 hours a day and the hustle grind, right? Blah, blah, blah. Right. And it's the same idea, I think, for a lot of creators where it's like, oh, I'll quit. I'll just like hustle. I'll make scrape by and like, survive on ramen. And like, I think that actually is what you see in the media. And a lot of people, oh, this 22-year-old quit their job and they're traveling the world. They're a digital nomad, all this stuff. But like, in my experience, the vast majority of people that we work with, that's not their life situation. They are older. Oftentimes they have a career, they have families, they have kids oftentimes, right? And so they're not prepared to just like take 10 steps backward and like scrape by on like their AdSense checks or whatever, right? And so that is not what we're suggesting, okay? What we are suggesting is you have to do this, you have to be organized, you have to be process driven, you have to set a goal and say, okay, in 18 months, I want to quit my job. And so then you deconstruct that into sub goals and you say, okay, well, how am I actually going to get that to happen? If working with sponsors and brands is a major way in which I'm currently making income on this side hustle, right, as a creator, then I better start getting really good at organizing this process so that when I am able to, if I want to actually quit in 18 months, then I better have a process in place and a bunch of seeds sowed with all these advertisers and all these agencies and so on, so that when I make that happen, I don't feel the anxiety month to month of where my next check is going to come from. So I just wanted to make that point because I think there's this myth out there that it's just like the vast majority of creators are just like really young, they have nothing to lose, and they'll just quit their job and figure it out. But I don't know about you, D, but that was not my situation, and I think perhaps it wasn't yours. And so you just have to be a lot more organized. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Y'all, so we've been blabbering on for a long time about the topic that we love talking about forever, sponsorships. But we did want to leave a little bit of time for a Q&A in the chat. If you have any questions about Brand Deal Wizard, as I mentioned, enrollment is actually closing on. Let me pull this back up on October 16th, which is Sunday night at midnight, and enrollment is capped at 50. So if you really do want to participate, we would absolutely love you to. The next cohort is going to be in the February-March timeframe. So if you are really eager to close down some of those holiday Q4 deals, which oftentimes is where brands backload the vast majority of their marketing budgets, then this is a great time to join, so you can be poised to take advantage of some of those conversations you'll likely be having in the next several weeks, right? I mean, this has happened for the last several cohorts, especially during the fall cohort, where people will join and then it's very actionable because the first week it's like, oh, I got an email from a brand, right? Because they're trying to plan for Black Friday or Cyber Monday or some promotion for the holidays. And it's like, this is perfect. I can actually use what I'm learning right now in the program on these deals I'm working on right now. So, and by the same token, if you don't have a lot of inbound deal flow, people, the first week is all around designing your pitches, right? Understanding how you can put something compelling in front of a brand that they'll get excited about. And so don't think that, you're not a good fit if you're not getting a bunch of emails or, inquiries from brands yet. A big segment of people who ultimately do join Brand Deal Wizard are, at an earlier stage and need help and assistance with crafting their value proposition, how to be articulate about why a brand should compensate them, and so on. So, this is a great time.
Creators who are at a super high level in their career, but they just don't have the strategies in place to actually make their income sustainable and more. Everyone wants to feel secure, right? Like at the end of the day, you want to feel secure. You want to feel like you're getting paid for the work that you're putting in. And so, yes, there's a split. There's a split of creators who are trying to figure out this process. And then we also have super advanced creators who they either went viral and it was accidental, essentially. So they kind of went viral and now it's just like, now what do I do? Or they're at a high level, they've had sponsorships going in, but they were severely undercharging what they're worth. And we get comments all the time, Justin, about how creators are charging 4x, 6x the amount that they were charging for, all from the knowledge in 4 weeks. So the one thing I want to say to you all before I stop blabbering on is that the biggest thing you can do for yourself is to make a decision and act on it now. If you want to make a lot of money on sponsorships and you want to have a pipeline rolling in consistently, make your decision now, because the longer it takes you to start, the longer it's going to take you to win. And I want you to win now, because I wasted 4 years of my career doing nothing and quitting because I didn't know nothing about nothing, right? So like, you can put yourself in a position where I'm telling you these strategies really, really do work. There's so much value. Your life can be just as life-changing as Ashley's life. I was a student on the course. I get to teach the course now alongside Justin Moore, the founder of this amazing business that is just backed on helping creators win, right? So there are so many wins that you can have. There are so many amazing things that you can accomplish. You can go on over to branddealwizard.com and find more information. You can also email me at d@creatorwizard, and I'd be more than happy to respond back to you and answer any cues that you have. Just don't wait. Don't say I'll do it when I get to 1,000 subscribers. Don't say I'll do it when I get to 150,000 subscribers. Don't do it. Don't wait until TikTok says like you're finally monetized. That could take a really long time.
Yeah.
And you deserve to make more now, because you got to put in the work now to get those thousands. They don't just come in out of nowhere. So the sooner you start, the sooner you help yourself, the sooner you'll say thank you to yourself for doing the one thing that you knew you had to do. And you were just like, I don't know. I'm telling you, you know what you have to do. And you're going to have to take this course because it's literally that good. It's that good.
And
you could in 6 months be teaching your brand how to hire creators. You could. In 6 months, you could also be making $600,000 a year. All these things are possible. Whatever your goals are, you can attain them as long as you have the knowledge. And I'm telling you, this class it's so solid. I am now working on the course. Who can say this? Like, not many people can say these things, and I'm totally not making it up.
Let me just, I'm gonna pull on some music right now just to get some vibes going. Like that was.
Oh, we're doing a motivational speech now. Yes, believe in yourself. Never ever give up. And Justin and I are strong believers in shooting a shot. There's anything that you deserve, you should go out and work for it and earn it. It's going to feel so much better once you get it. And if you're at a place where you don't even know where to find sponsorship opportunities, sign up for our newsletter. We send them weekly.
Yes, exactly.
We send them every single week. We have over 7,300 subscribers on our newsletter now, right? Maybe it's 7.5 at this rate. We're growing super fast. And we get emails almost weekly of creators who are making money from those sponsorship opportunities that we're posting. So
yeah, literally, like if you have no excuse not to join this newsletter. It's jizzard.com/join because we are sending you paid sponsorships right to your inbox. So you have literally no excuse not to be on there. And I did want to, before we sign off, I did want to mention one quick more thing, which is, who is Brand Deal Wizard for? I've gotten this question quite a bit. And there's a big change that we've made in Creator Wizard over the last several months, which is that, previously we were focused on social media first creators, right? So YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Amazon, etc. But we have expanded the scope greatly to accommodate creators who have built their businesses on owned platforms as well. So podcasters, communities, bloggers, newsletter authors. We've had, started to have a lot of creators who are doing lots of sponsorships in these other avenues also join the program. In fact, we just had Joe Casabona, who is a podcast. He has a podcast about podcasters. He's a podcast coach. He just joined. And just so excited about all the different people that are joining for this cohort. So if you were wondering, is this really the right course for me? The beautiful thing about the cross-pollination that's going to be happening is that you're going to be able to learn from other creators' businesses, right? So maybe you don't have a podcast yet, or maybe you don't have a newsletter yet, or maybe you do have a podcast and you're not on social media and you're just like, I'm not going to dance on TikTok. That's not me, right? But you start to hear and you start to learn from other creators about the different things that they're doing. In fact, that's the other thing that we didn't even mention is that we've got guest speakers, right, Dee, in Brand Deal Wizard, and one of the guest speakers is going to be doing an advanced session all about Pinterest monetization. Tell us a little bit more about that, Dee, because I'm really excited for that one.
Yeah, so there's a creator who has built her following up to millions every single month just from Pinterest alone. And this creator also works with Pinterest as well. So Kaya Marriott is a creator on YouTube and Instagram. You can find her. She does curly hair stuff and skincare and natural hair. She's absolutely amazing. And she's going to drop her gems on her Pinterest strategy and how you can use these strategies in your business to monetize and make an additional income. So there's money to be made wherever you're going to be. And we have experts coming in. Last session, Justin, we had Patty Galloway come in and talked about how you need to know, what type of content you're putting out and what its purpose is. I learned from that session that I actually have a recommendation channel. These are things that you wouldn't actually think about, but you get so much value from these guest sessions because they're experts in their specific field, dropping their insider knowledge for you to just absorb like a sponge and apply it immediately to your business, your brand, your creativity, your platforms, no matter where they are. And I'm super excited that we are more inclusive this time around because I really do love knowing that these possibilities are available and it's an option, right? You can totally make a lot of money from your podcast. And now you know this because you're in a room with 10 other podcasters who are telling you how they got to that point, and you get to take those notes and apply to your own business, right? So there's so much value. I love having a diverse group of creators in our courses, and I love being a part of it. It's such an amazing journey, and I'm excited to see what your journey is going to be. If you end up signing up, we'd be happy to have you, of course. And again, you can email me, d@creatorwizard.com. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them for you.
Isn't Dee amazing, guys? I don't even know how I lucked out hiring her, because she is just an absolute gem. It's a masterclass every time she opens her mouth. So Dee, thank you so much for all your support, your advocacy. It has always meant so much to me. And real quickly, just wanted to mention, nice Chris in the chat just said, almost finished my gifted to paid course. Loving the amazing information. Chris, so stoked to hear that you're enjoying gifted to paid. And just as a final note here, you can see the graphic on the screen. If you do want to learn more about Brand Deal Wizard, just go to branddealwizard.com, and hope to see you in there next Tuesday as first class. So anyways, everyone, have a wonderful weekend. Dee, have a wonderful weekend. And we'll see y'all on the flip side.
Have a great weekend, everyone.
Peace. Let's turn this music back on. See you guys.